So the Beatles just won their 8th Grammy 5 decades after they broke up, all because of AI. And this story is really fascinating. And you might have actually heard about the Beatles launching an album with the song Now and Then. So I want to kind of recap what actually happened. What did they do? Even when 2 of the artists are dead in the band. And you can see here is Sean Ono Lennon accepting the Best Rock Performance Grammy on behalf of the Beatles for the new song Now and Then at the 2025 Grammys. So essentially what happened, and this was a really long work in progress. So John Lennon, he actually recorded a song on tape shortly before he was killed in 1980. His widow, Yono Oko, provided the tape on which it was recording to the band afterwards, but the quality of the recording was not great, bad even. So you can kind of think him sitting on the piano and actually just recording that, and with the technology of recording on tape. Obviously, that is quite old. And when we listened to Now and Then, it was very difficult because John was sort of hidden in a way, says Ringo Starr, in the making of Short. Every time I wanted a little bit more of John's voice, recall McCartney, this piano came through and clouded the picture. And in those days, of course, we didn't have the technology to do the separation. So they actually tried to use this tape back in 1995. They all came together, and there's this incredible short documentary here about how they made it. So they tried to come together in 1995 and rescue the song, but they actually ran out of steam. Like, they recorded the first song and the second song, and they came to this one, and just like, it's a little bit too cloudy. We were paying a lot of attention to the technical restoration that ultimately led us to develop a technology which allows us to take any soundtrack and split all the different components into separate tracks based on machine learning, said Jackson in the short. So we've covered tools like this in the past on the channel, separating tracks, making them all into MIDI notes if you want to, and the technology has gone really, really far. And they said, we were wondering which tool they used, and they call it MAL. As they call it, is a version of audio isolation techniques that have came a long way in the last few years. And this is machine learning models. Now, this is actually, there are a couple of tools, I can't remember which one, that you could use for exactly this now. Almost like even DaVinci has this, even Zoom has kind of this built into the software as well. But I want to show you a timestamp in the song itself where they actually finally was able to clear the voice and come through in perfect clarity. And that's when they said, yeah, we need to make a song about this. Let's take it and run with it. And it sounds like this. Hey, by the way, if you like this video, click on subscribe. Also check out the full video over on our podcast channel. You can find that in the link in the description. Now, let's get back to it. And it sounds like this.
All because of you.
Since Peter took John.
And that comes a long way from the piano that was played all the way back here. I'm not going to share how it sounded like, but it was really, really grainy and didn't sound as good. And this got them very excited. It was like they got Lennon in the studio again, and they were like, I can do a bass line on this. I can do some strings on this. Hey, can we get the drums on? And they were just, cooking. They were in the kitchen cooking. He says, there it was, John's voice, crystal clear. Now we could mix it and make a proper record of it. And here, to hear John's voice, that's the thing we should cherish. Reviving an old, somebody that was dead, somebody that was extremely close to them, somebody that literally lived a life that nobody else can even try to compare with. It's the closest thing we'll ever come to having him back in the room, said Ringo. So absolutely beautiful story here. I highly recommend checking out this if you haven't already. It's like a year old, but since this news came out about them winning a Grammy, It's just absolutely incredible. And yeah, I wonder, Mike, what do you think is the coolest thing about this?
It was so fun because I first saw the headline and it said something like, "Oh, the Beatles won a Grammy thanks to AI," and I was like, "What? What did they do?" And kind of headline maybe didn't sell the news properly, I think, because it almost made me feel like, they used some sort of AI tool to maybe generate the actual voice, right, of the person singing, or the audio or something in the background, right? Maybe they use AI for this, but actually the truth is they used AI to kind of restore the old audio that obviously wouldn't be possible if we didn't have AI. And I am, well, I can't say I'm against the use of AI in creatives like this, but for this particular kind of use case, I'm not here to judge at all, but I would say I approve. I give it a thumbs up for how they use AI to actually just create and just bring back an old song that was dead, right? They couldn't use the original audio, but now thanks to AI they did, and yeah, very very exciting. So
Yeah,
I would say
that they could bring back something that was not usable, fix it, and then actually make it usable. And of course, the story as a whole is a beautiful story. And that's like one way of using it. And kind of reminds me a little bit of like picture restoration. Like you might see people with old photos of their grandpa and it's all torn up. And you have tools that can fix that and restore it and actually color it as well, which is really beautiful. Now, obviously, this is a very different method than actually generating the music yourself, which is something that everyone can do. And I want to say that I have personally generated a full album with AI that you can find on Happy on Spotify. And the music is not Beatles quality. It is fully AI generated. But I found it extremely fascinating to actually try to create my own album. And the tool I used for this is called Suno.com. And here you can literally create any music that your heart desires. And it actually sounds really good as well. I'll share a little bit of a song that I tried
by the
to
way,
make.
this is not a promo video. The tool is just really good. That's why we show it.
Yeah, it also feels a little bit bad comparing real musicians from the past that are exceptional in what they did to the new. Well, I guess it's also a shift from the old generation to the new generation as well. Because my take on this is nature evolving and technology evolving. And it's not like we're going to go back in time, but we're definitely going to go forward in time and to see what the future of music is kind of scary and really real right now. But let me share one track that I think this one was quite unique and interesting. I'm going to skip to the good part. Yeah, that's like Beatles, right? That's the music Beatles were making.
That's almost. I mean, you would have to have an expert to be able to tell that apart from like Beatles song, but yeah, pretty close, pretty close.
So there you have it. The old school Beatles being able to completely make John Lennon's voice very clear, and the future of music with Suno AI. I couldn't find more complete opposites if I tried. So yeah, but I highly recommend anyone that wants to create an album, try out Suno, and Yeah, let's keep going.
Yeah, give it a go. It's pretty cool. I tried it myself, created a few songs, and yeah, when you have some spare time, just give Andy's album a listen. You know, maybe it's not the Beatles level, but it's pretty cool. So happy dot.
Yeah, just give them a little taste. This is all lo-fi. Just music you can work to, you know, just music you can chill to and get productive. And if you like Americano latte a lot better, you know, pick the one that you want. Let's jump to the next one. Hey, so if you loved this clip, we actually have a full-length podcast that you can check out in the link in the description down below. A lot more to cover. All right, see you there.